I'm Andrew Phillips. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to fix a broken irrigation pipe underground. Let's go ahead and get started. So just to give you an overview of what's going on here, as you can see, we had a pool put in. They're still not done with it. However, when they brought the concrete truck in to do the footer, the ground was kind of soft because of rain, and what happened is it broke one of my irrigation lines underneath. So what we're going to be doing now, because what's left with the pool does not require them to be driving over here, the concrete, and I apologize in advance, it's kind of windy, so if you're hearing some wind hitting the microphone, I apologize for that. It's just a windy day. But I talked to the concrete company, and what they're going to be using is just some electric wheelbarrows to bring the rest of it in, so there's not going to be any weight from trucks going over the lines anymore. So we're ready to do it before I have everything landscaped and all the grass seed put back in. But I'm going to fire up my irrigation system, and I'll show you this whole zone here on the side of the house from back here and to the front is zone 3. So we're going to turn on zone 3 and I'll show you what's happening. But our two heads along the back of the property are coming up kind of weak, but then the ones in the middle barely getting any pressure, and then the ones in the front are getting nothing because the line comes right around through here. And then there's a head that's right about right here. So we're not getting enough pressure to raise that, and that's how I knew something was up, and then we saw it bubbling up. So I'm going to head over here to the box. We're going to turn it on. I'll show you what we're dealing with, and then we'll get started. I have everything shut off right now because we're in our winter months, but we'll put it on manual watering. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change it to zone or station 3. And then we're just going to have it just come on just for 10 minutes so you can see it. If you notice, look right here and right about there, those are the two heads that are going to come on now. You can see this one's on. That one popped up. It's getting a little bit of pressure. You can see the water starting to come out of it. And then I'll show you here on the other side, the other ones are not moving at all. This one here, which is one of the middle ones, is barely getting any pressure. And then if we head over on this side, you're going to see here, there's normally a head right here. You can see a little bit of moisture. It just sprayed up a little bit, didn't even get enough pressure to come out of the ground, that one. And then I have one right there, and then one all the way back there near the car. No pressure to even raise them at all. And then the one here in the middle, you can see a little bit of moisture here. But if we head back over here, you'll see where the pipe's broken. Let's head back. Right here. So that's where we're going to be digging up to find the break. Let's turn this off. So I'm going to start breaking the ground right here. However, you don't want to go too deep because you don't want to hit the rest of the line and cause more damage. So we're just going to kind of go across the top. Once we find that pipe, then we'll trace it and find out where the crack is. But like I said, there was a big concrete truck that came right across here. Normally it wouldn't have been an issue, but because the ground was so wet, he just sank down and snapped it. You can see part of the PVC pipe exposed already. So that's the line. It runs from, I believe, up there to here and then across. So we're going to start digging that out so we can see all around it and then trace where the break is to fix it. But what I wanted to mention is you always want to, as you can see here, I have it marked already. We had the ground marked for the pool, but if you don't have any markings, get it marked before you dig. You don't want to be breaking ground without any markers, because this one right here goes right through there. That's the electric. And what I did is I hand dug there, and I found where it was, so that way I knew I was safe with that. But you always want to mark that first before you go digging into the ground. All right. All right, so line is going down actually, and then coming over. So it's going that way to the one down on the corner, coming down and then cutting over. If it was lower, might have not had the issue, but when they installed it, they brought it up to cut over. But the crack should be, I'm thinking, because the truck tires came right across here. So, let's see what we have. Okay, here we can see it again. I'm going to get some of the water out of here. I'm going to clear a little more around it, and then we'll turn it on so we can see where the water is spraying from. All right, so I found the crack. It's right here in this line. I thought it was going this way. This pipe seems fine. It's this one. Let me get a close-up so you can see it. So now at least we know what we need to fix. Here. See it right there. This thing is snapped real good. Right there. So we're probably going to have to replace this joint and then that piece. So we'll do an extension here, replace this, put it all back together, but we need to clean that out real good. I'm going to drain all the water out of here so we can get a clear shot all around it. And then we'll get the pieces we need and then get started on it. Here's a better shot of it. You can see here, look at this. That's completely snapped off, filled with dirt. So I'm going to get a saw. We're going to cut it off here, pull that out. I need to clean this out because it's got dirt in it. We don't want that in the line. And then we're going to get a new fitting to attach in here. Okay. Next we'll do this one. Get a nice clean cut. There we go. Now we have that. Then we just need to get all that junk out of there. Good thing is there's still water in the lines, so it's just draining it back out. We're going to cut this straight too, but just want to look into this pipe, make sure there's no dirt, because I had pushed some of it out, drained it out, but let's see if we can get the camera in here. Looks like all the globs are out. Let's get our replacement pieces for this. With this piece out, you can see right here, that's where it broke. With it like that, I guess when the cement truck went over it, cracked down on it there, and that's where it snapped. But what we need to match, we have the outer diameter of the PVC pipe that was going in. We need to match that. So we're going to take this with us to the store so we can get an accurate match for it, and then be back to prime it, and then put the adhesive on it, get it all back together, and then we'll try it. Look, here's some junk in here. But anyway, so let's do it. I just came to Lowe's, but you can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or any home improvement place. Go towards the plumbing section, and in there you're going to look for the different PVC couplings, and you have the different diameters. As you can see there, the 1 inch. You want to match the inner diameter with the outer of the PVC pipe, and then don't forget to pick up the primer and cement as well. So we just got back from the store. As we saw, they have the different fittings. You want to match it up to what you need. You want to get an outer diameter measurement of the PVC pipe itself and then an inner diameter. However, on the ones that I'm removing, and I'll get a close-up so you can see it, And then here on our new one, let's see here, you can see the 1 inch called out up top as well. But it already says 1 inch. So for these fittings here, it's a 1 inch inner diameter. And then I also bought some PVC piping, which is always measured by the outer, the 1 inch outer, but you want to measure it anyway just to make sure. So what I'm going to do now is I bought the pieces. So we bought that part here and this part. So we can remake this piece here that connects. And then we bought some fittings because we're going to have to cut that down and put some little pieces to connect to get it all together. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But first thing that I need to do is we need to measure these out and cut them nice and flat with squared edges where they need to end, so we can then prep it, clean it, prime it, glue it together, and put the cement on there to get it all together. And this stuff dries quick, so you want to move fast. So let's head in here. We're going to measure it out, and then we're going to cut it. So if you look on the inside of these couplings, there's a little edge right there on all of them. Here as well, you can see it from both sides, and that's for when you put the PVC pipe in. It goes in about 1 inch and then it hits that edge. So we want to accommodate for that. So as we put this new piece in here, we're going to have our old broken pipe is going to be coming in here to 1 inch, and then we're going to add in probably about, because we have 1 inch going in here, 1 inch here, we'll probably do maybe 3 inches, so that we have 1 inch gap. So that's how we're going to measure it and cut it, so that way it'll fit in there. So I'm going to measure this out in the hole so we can trim down those pipes as well and get that prepped so we can start cementing it together. So this is approximately here. Remember, we cut it right at that pipe. So with this being here, and then we have this coupling, we're going to cut this pipe probably back to here. So that way, so I'm going to have to clear out a little bit more because we want this to be approximately, we want about 1 inch of it to go in here, 1 inch gap, 1 inch in here. So I'm going to measure that accordingly, so that and that'll be on both sides and also on this side here. So that way these couplings can fit properly over these pieces to get on those. I measured everything out. So we're going to cut this pipe here, this one here, this one here. That'll give room for the coupling, for that to slide into the coupling to here. We'll put our new piping in here. So it'll be like this. So the new piping will be 1 inch in this coupling, 1 inch out, 1 inch in that coupling, and that'll be 1 inch in the coupling. So it'll be like that, about like that. And then same on these here, same thing. So you'll have that inside the coupling, 1 inch out, 1 inch in, same on that side. So let's get this all cut and then we'll be back. Everything has been cut. We're going to clean them off. If you don't have a nice straight edge, which I do, you want to sand that down and get it nice and squared off. But I'm going to clean these off and then we'll start priming it so we can put the fittings on. Everything has been cleaned. All the shavings have been removed. I'll wipe these down real good and clean so that way they're now ready for the primer to be applied, and then the cement will go right after. This is the primer and cement pack that I got. It's called Rain or Shine, and the reason I went with this one, because Rain or Shine, this particular cement here, is specially formulated for residential and commercial irrigation to minimize cure time. So this is, you can use any of the PVC cements, but I went with this one just because that's what we're working with today. And then it also has the primer, so it's a double pack. As we saw when I was at Lowe's, I showed you what the price was when we were down that aisle. But let's go ahead and start applying it. We're going to be starting with this one. So we'll open up our primer. Has this little brush on it. We're going to put the primer all around it. And then we're going to take the fitting that we're going to use, put it on the inside of it like this. So you want it on the inside and the out. Okay. And we're going to put it on the other side when we're ready to do that one as well. Okay, now we're going to take our cement, because this primer dries quick. And you don't want to let it sit too long. Open up our cement. We're going to put the cement around it. And you want to go all around, put the cement thick on both ends. So here, we'll do it here on the inside of this as well. And then what we're going to do now is slide it on. And you want to put it on the inner diameter and the outside, because that also helps lubricate it to slide it on. We're going to push it all the way on, turning it a little bit. Kind of hold it there for a few seconds, let it really bond. This stuff dries quick. And there we go. Sometimes if you're dealing with bigger pipes, it can push back a little bit, so you want to make sure that you hold it. Like right there, it's already drying. So that's good. So I'm going to do these two as well, and then we'll be back to start doing the final attachment and adding the extra PVC piece. That's already dry. That's nice and tight, sealed. Same with this one. And this one's almost there as well. Perfect. Next, I'm going to assemble this coupling here. We're going to prime the inside on there, the outside of this one, put the cement on the outside, the inside. We're going to put that all together, let that dry, and then we'll be back to add the little pieces of PVC piping in between the couplings so we can finish attaching everything up, let it dry, and then we'll test the water and see how it is. Make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. All right. You can see that. Nice and straight. Everything is tightly in all the way down. And by putting the cement on the outer and inner, it also lets it slide in nice. Gets it nice, and that way you're not trying to work it on. So here we have our extra piece of PVC. We're going to cut three 3-inch sections. So we need a total, let's see here. Here, here, and there. Those are our three 3 inches. Let me cut those so we can put them in. Just finished cutting these. These are our three 3-inch pieces. Cleaned them up, so let's start attaching those to the couplings as well. I'm going to assemble everything onto this coupling here. And that way we can just put it together one final piece. Okay. Let that dry. Do this last one. All right, now we'll cement it in. Okay. Okay. We'll do this one first. Get that all the way in. Turning it a little bit. You can see how when we turn it, it goes in even further. There we go. Slide that in. Push it in, and then turning it as you're putting it in. Get it to lock. There we go. And then now we'll do this last one. Put it in, and turning it as you're putting it in. Because you want it to go all the way in. There we go, to meet that edge. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we're going to head down into the hole there and start getting everything lined up so we can put this last piece in. All right, put everything, I already primed everything, so now we'll just put the cement on, and we're going to do all three sides because we're going to be doing this all in one shot. Do the insides, get this nice and good. Same one here. All right, we're going to slide this one in here. Let's see here. There. Everything is attached. There we go. Everything has been pressed together and assembled. Looks nice and good. They recommend letting it for a handling time about 15 minutes, but 2 hours cure time if it's above 60 degrees. Unfortunately here today it's a little bit below. It's around 50 degrees, so we're going to let it sit a little bit longer. So then we'll be back in about 2 to 3 hours to take a look at it again, and then we'll fire up the water and make sure everything is set, and then we can start putting the dirt back on it and wrap it up. I may have used a little bit too much of the cement, but they do recommend applying it liberally. Rather have too much than too little, but it did get a little bit messy in there. But who cares? It's going to be covered by the dirt. Everything is dry, so let's head over to the irrigation box. I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to test it and see if it's leaking or not. If it's good, then we're going to go ahead and fill it up with dirt and call it a day. Go to 3. Okay, well this is looking better already. You can see that one popped right up. All the other ones are out. All the heads are looking great. Everything is spraying good. Pressure is maxed. Let's go take a look at it and see if there's any leakage. You can see the head there behind that mound is up. One down there. This guy. The one on the other side of that little bobcat thing is on as well. Let's cross over here. Dry as can be, nothing spraying out. We are good. Here's a shot from this side. You can see it there. Whoa. That one's good. Looks good. All right, well, you saw it. Everything looks good. No leaks. When we checked all the couplings and stuff that we redid, everything is nice and solid, nothing dripping out. Pressure was the full pressure again. You could see all the heads on all the parts of the property were coming up nicely. So that wraps up this video on how to fix a broken irrigation PVC line. I'm going to go ahead now and put the dirt on there. I'm not going to show that in the video, but I'm just going to backfill it. We're going to take it slow. You'll just dump it all on there. I'm going to kind of work it in. That way it doesn't cause any stress on that, and then be done with it. But I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you out with any issues you're having with your irrigation system if you have any broken lines. If you have any questions or comments, please send them in. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I appreciate all the support. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.